Good evening. Thank you so much to the Planck Center and its leadership for such an enjoyable evening. My name's Erin Slay Wilson, and it's my pleasure to be here tonight introducing and celebrating a friend, mentor, and professional role model. As many of you probably already know, a lot of this will be review. Leah Seay Anise is just an exemplary PR professional, and I'll pause here and say what an amazing night it's been for us to sit next to each other and to kind of look down the road at the leaders ahead of us, ahead of her, as she's being honored as an emerging leader, to just see the best is yet to come. And there's a lot to look forward to in our industry, just from the examples that are set here. So thank you so much for that. So back to Leah. She has worked at some of the world's largest and most ubiquitous brands already, and she's just getting started at Uber, Amazon, GM, and then most recently OpenAI. And she's led teams and projects in DC, Detroit, San Francisco, and if those weren't impressive enough, Australia and Japan. She's also, and I think most importantly, a leader in all capacities of her life. She works closely with the Planck Center to support the next generation of PR professionals and is an active member of the PRSA Foundation. She sees the ways that organizations can grow and improve, and she gets her hands dirty helping them get there. She's a very active participant. She's also an amazing mentor to me and to countless others I know, including students who receive a scholarship through a fund that she set up to support aspiring communicators. She did this in her 20s, and I just find that to be so inspiring that she was already looking for ways to lend a hand back to those coming up behind her. She's just, put simply, an inspiring person, and it's just a joy to watch her succeed. I know many in this room feel the same way. I'll also note that I predicted she would win this award a few years ago, and here I am, and I'm predicting that many more accolades will be in your future. I first knew Leah as a student at Auburn University. If you were at all involved on campus, you had heard of Leah and her would-be husband, Olabode, as well. Leah was just as passionate and future-focused in college as she is today, and I suspect, I know her family is here, that she's always been that way. Leah and I were friends at Auburn, seeing each other on campus and at different meetings. I was a couple of years behind her in school and certainly admired her as she excelled her way through the PR program and campus organizations in general. As a younger PR student, Leah was a friend that I always looked up to and thought, wow, I bet I'll read about her someday. Or see her stunning engagement photos in a magazine like Andrew and I were talking about earlier. You just nod and say, of course. We've always kept in touch, just via social media after she graduated, and I continued on in the PR program there. And when I think our friendship really deepened and continued was a few years later. I was trying to decide whether to attend graduate school at the University of Alabama, and she reached out to me. Full time. She offered to help me with the entire process and even gave me a tour of campus and set up introductions with key faculty members just to help me secure funding. And I'll kind of embarrass myself a little bit. Before I came to the University of Alabama, I didn't really know a lot about PR as an industry, and Leah was a huge part of opening my eyes to things like the Planck Center and different aspects of the profession. I really learned then what it felt like to have Leah on your team. She was gracious in so many ways and encouraged me throughout graduate school, and as I applied for and took my first job, she continues to do this and champion my career and support me in so many ways with texts, phone calls, editing my resume at different times, interview tips, advice, and the candles in the mail as well, which are great. Throughout her transitions to bigger roles, organizations, and cities, she's remained just a true friend and mentor to me. Even though our career paths have looked different, she's been a faithful mentor in all seasons, regularly checking in with me, pushing me to ask for more at my jobs, and helping me see my own potential and future opportunities. This is important, ladies. Leah is the mentor and friend who taught me about salary negotiations and coached me through asking for what I deserve, so I'm very thankful for that specifically. And she did all of this while working in Australia, Japan, California, juggling what I can only imagine was a massive workload while still reaching out to support me throughout my career. I really credit her with being the reason I have my current job, and she spent weeks helping me prepare for that whole hiring process, which was just above and beyond. In closing, and I think it's interesting, this has been sort of a through line of all of tonight's honorees' introductions. I think it's worth noting that I've known Leah for nearly 10 years. I was preparing, going over my intro with my husband, and I was just struck by the fact that Leah has been in my world for a really long time, and I've always felt the same about her. From a young student admiring a new friend at Auburn to a 30-year-old professional introducing a longtime mentor, I have gotten to watch her succeed and take me, and I'm sure many others, along with her. Leah keeps people, she champions them, and she makes them feel important, and I can't imagine better qualifications for a recipient of this award. She is humble, smart, kind, and confident. She knows what she wants, and she goes for it. She also encourages her mentees and friends to do the same. I often tell her that one day she'll be in a Fortune 500 boardroom, and I'll brag that she's my mentor and my friend. In true Leah fashion, she'll just laugh and ask me about myself, my dog, my life, my work. I'm just so glad that she's getting the recognition she deserves tonight. I know I speak for so many in this room and beyond when I say that I'm a better professional, more loyal friend, and more confident woman because of her. So please join me in celebrating her tonight and welcoming this year's Emerging Leader recipient, Leah Seay Anise, to the stage. Congratulations.
Wow, good evening. There's a lot of people in this room. Erin, I am just so beyond thankful for our friendship over the course of 10 plus years now. You have just been an amazing person in my life. I continually learn from you about the type of professional I aspire to be and the type of leader I aspire to be. So thank you for being here and for our friendship. That means the world to me. 8 years ago, I sat in this exact room somewhere in the far left corner. As I reflect on the divine events that led up to that night and thereafter, there was a divine domino effect that set the course of my career into motion. As a college student, I was so broke that when the Planck Center began accepting applications for students to attend the gala, I didn't even apply. Knowing my situation, Dr. Carla Gower, Jessica White, and a few other incredible humans pulled together enough money for me and other students to attend as long as we could cover our airfare. So I begged my dad for $200 for the cheapest flight I could find on Expedia and delusionally promised him that if he gave me the money that night, I would land a job. The event itself was a whirlwind. I was originally placed at the McDonald's table, but I quickly learned at check-in that I had been moved to sit with General Motors. All of my strategic research about Big Macs and McFlurries went down the drain as I frantically panicked about my very limited knowledge of the auto industry. What was most surprising was that night, when I spoke with a GM executive, we didn't talk about PR one bit. We connected over stories about the farmer's market and a great strawberry pie I had recently made. As the night wrapped, she asked what I was doing the next summer. She explained to me that GM had already closed their internship applications, but that if I sent her my resume that night, she would see what she could do. That executive ended up hiring me for the internship, and my boss from that role is in the room tonight. Hi, Nicole. And she helped offer me a full-time role after I finished my master's degree, launching my career in public relations. As I reflect on how special this room is tonight and my career to date, shaping global communications initiatives at some of the world's most iconic brands, from launching vehicles at General Motors, to managing high-stakes profiles and crises at Amazon, to running global product PR for Uber Eats, and now leading global consumer communications for ChatGPT at OpenAI. The common thread has been the incredible mentors, bosses, and industry professionals who saw far more in me than I did in myself. They've championed my big ideas, coached me through career decisions, and gave me tough love when it was needed. To the Planck Center Board of Directors, thank you for continuing to believe and invest in me. I wouldn't be where I am without you today. To the mentors in the room, make it your mission to determine how you'll make a difference for someone else tonight. Being in this industry has taught me that the greatest privilege of leadership is not what we accomplish alone, but how we help others achieve their potential. To the students in the room, and there are a lot of you all, you are amazing, and I'm so excited as you dive into this dynamic, ever-evolving profession. Your voices matter and have the ability to shape perspectives on a global scale. My only ask is that in pursuit of your dreams, you always seek truth, champion diversity, equity, and inclusion, and tell meaningful stories that make the world a better place. To my mom and dad who are here tonight, thank you for being my first and most lasting example of leadership. Your unwavering support has shaped how I show up for others around me. To my phenomenal husband, Alabade, who's also in the room tonight, if there were a Friends of the PR Industry Award, it would go to you. You relentlessly challenge me to invest my time and our family resources into young professionals, fund scholarships for students, and motivate me to better serve those around us. I love you. And to my mentors, mentees, friends, and family in the room tonight, who continue to celebrate my wild dreams, put up with the time differences as I've lived abroad, and always keep it real, you are my inspirations and daily reminder of God's gracious love toward us. In closing, as we look toward the future, remember that skills and hard work are just the starting point. So let's push ourselves to embrace authenticity, seize every opportunity, and carve out spaces where every voice is heard, making this industry a better place for those to follow. Together, we can build a legacy rooted in truth and driven by compassion, one that inspires the next generation to carry it forward with pride and purpose. Thank you all so much. Good night.